All right, so this training video is covering the new Incident Management Hub, referencing the job aid that was created. So the flow is going to be going off of the job aid and then going through all of the different steps to create an incident, add facilities to the map and survey, and then do the editing of the facility status report. Starting on page 20 of the job aid, I'm going to be going directly from the CHCQ EPDR ArcGIS hub, and this is going to access the Incident Management Hub. This is going to be the first link that's up at the top of the page. So you're just going to click that hyperlink, and what it will do is take you to the landing page, excuse me, which hosts all of the new web apps. So this is going to be the location where the web app for track fires, PSPS, earthquakes, other incidents, and any other type of web app that we might be using will be on this homepage. So over here on the left, you'll see a list of all the different things that we have. This is very similar to what we have posted on the hub, but this is going to be the place where you're going to access the web app. Reason being, web apps are being depreciated, and they're no longer going to be supported by Esri. So the new things that is used to build that is called Experience Builder. So all of these web apps are built with this new type of software. And so we'll go ahead and we'll get into it. So for the demo, I'm going to use the TrackFires web app. That's what the job aid is built off of, is a scenario on the TrackFires. So I'm just going to click that from the link, and you'll see that this will open up the TrackFires web app. So moving on to page 21 of the job aid, first thing we're going to do is it runs through a scenario of you get an address sent to you via email from the EPO duty officer, and you're going to see the address bar located here. The next things that you'll see is all of the widgets that we use are up here on the top right-hand side. So the design of this is meant to replicate what is in the how the previous web app builders were built. So up here you'll see a layer list, and if you hover over it, you'll get the name of the different widgets: Whitesheet, Feature Info, Smart Editor, Attribute Table, Print, Legend, Analysis, Measurement Tool, and Base Map Gallery. You'll see over here, I do want to highlight there's one more layer list, and we'll explain that now of what this is and how this is different from this layer list. So the layer list on the right has a list of every different layer that we have used in the past. But what we have seen using this is that the list can get very long. It can be confusing as to which layers that we use all the time. So if you do need to reference something that we don't use all the time, like the smoke or district office directory or something, that's going to be in this layer list over here on the right hand side, and you can simply turn it on. They all work the same way. You just turn on the layer list and it will show you on the map what what the layer is. The other layer list, which is here, is filled with just the layers that we use pretty regularly. So for the tracked fires web app, it's going to be active fires, our survey layer, the track fires history, the inpatient facilities, and the evacuation zones, and then all facilities, and then the potential impact area that we draw. This was a way to kind of organize and separate out, going from a long list of all the different layers that we use to just the key ones that we're using for an event. So you're most likely going to be using this one, but if there's something that you thought that we had referenced in the past, check this list and see if it's in here. If it's not, we can always add it. But this is pretty much just trying to separate and organize the two different sets of data that we use all the time. So page 22, we have covered the widgets that are up at the top that want to turn on CDPH, inpatient, and dialysis facilities, which is the Whitesheet layer. So this is the layer that we use to see where our facilities are located throughout California. Next thing I'm going to do is type in the address of what I may be looking for. So for this event, I'm going to use Monterey as our location, and you can see from the search bar, it's searching for USA addresses that contain the word Monterey, or it's also looking for facilities that have Monterey in the name. So you can, if you're searching for a facility, you can search for the facility here by name, or you can search by address, city, zip code, all of those different things. So I'm going to click this facility here. It's going to zoom me in to that location, and then now I can begin plotting my fire. So to plot the fire, and again, we are on page 24 of the job aid. You're going to open up the Smart Editor. It takes a second to load, but you'll see it listed here. Then from this list, I am going to select Active Fire, and then it's telling me to click on to the map of the location of where that fire is at. So I'm just going to simply click. That will freeze where the fire icon is moving. I'm going to give it the name. This is all stuff that we are very familiar with, but you're just going to see a new, this is going to look a little bit different compared to the old Smart Editor, but the concept is the same. So you just go through and follow the information that it's asking for. You can see there's drop-down menus for all of that. You can copy and paste into here. Current containment, but you can see here's all of the information for where to put that into the Smart Editor. And then I'm going to click Create. So once that happens, you have officially added an active fire to the map. All of the different dashboards that show how many active fires we have will be populated then with that data. So you can see that from a very high level on the dashboards as far as what's going on. So the next thing we normally do is on page 23, we're going to create the white sheet. So creating the white sheet, you're just going to go to the widget menu bar. You're going to click white sheet, and then you'll see it'll just open up this box. And for this, I'm just going to use a point to build a radius off of, but you can also draw an area, custom area if you want to. Remember, this is separate than the impact area that we used to run the script against. This is all really offline stuff that's just using this little widget to create a PDF of what is within the radius that we give it. So I'm going to click the point. I'm just going to click the map. So I'm going to click on my fire here. This is going to have the input location. It's defaulted to 5 miles. What this does now, this is different than the other web app builder, but you can see it lists out the name of the fire, and then within that it's going to have the facilities listed down here. So it will tell you the distance. So this is very similar, it's just the look and feel is just a tad bit different. So if you don't have any facilities that are within this white sheet, you could then just click the export button, export to PDF. What you're going to see is this template right here. You're going to want to change that to A4 landscape. That's a little bit different than what we used to do. I don't know if we had that option on the last one, but this is just going to fit all of the data into a better PDF view. And then this is where the naming is going to be. So just follow on the job aid, the naming convention, and then I'm going to click export. And then you're going to see I'll have the white sheet with the image, the data that we put in from the track fires layer, and then it's going to list all the facilities with the contact and the district office that it's located with. To save this, all right, so the next thing you might have to do is add the measurement. If there's not a facility that's in the white sheet area, you'll want to add the measurement of where the nearest facility is. So up here on the top right, you're going to see the measurement widget. You're going to click over here on the left that says measure distance. We're going to open that up. You're going to start from your measurement point, and then you're going to then just extend that out to the nearest facility. Double click, and then you can close these out, open up the white sheet again, click export to PDF. We want to put that on landscape. And you'll see when I double clicked, I guess it didn't start off or cut off the measurement, but when you double click, it'll close it off and it will show, I think it was supposed to be 7 miles or something like that. That'll be added to your white sheet. So the next thing is going to be on page 26 is adding the potentially impacted facilities. So the way that we do that is we use the Smart Editor widget. So up here on the top right, you're going to see Smart Editor. And you are going to then go down to, so previously we used the active fire to drop the pinpoint for the fire. Now we need to add the potential impact area and run the script so that we pull in those facilities. So potential impact area, you're going to select that from the list. What this is telling ArcGIS to do is, hey, I'm going to draw a polygon. And when I draw that, I want you to give me the options to provide some information about that. So I'm going to click the radius or the circle icon. I'm going to click in the center. I'm going to drag it out to get pretty close to what our 5-mile radius was on the white sheet. Key thing is just if it was on the white, if the facility was on the white sheet, make sure that the radius captures it on the circle on the map. As soon as I release the mouse, I'm going to then have the option to provide all that information that is used to identify what polygon this is and what facility should be attached to that polygon. So we've got map test, is area monitored, just add yes. We have these other things in here, but we don't really use that. If you want to attach the white sheet, there's a way you can, once you save it to your desktop, you can click add and then grab it from wherever it's located on your machine and add it in if you want to. That's not a process that we do, but if we get to that point, this is how you would do that. So from there, I drew my shape and I just need to make sure it's saved. You're going to click create. It's going to save the polygon. And then now when we run the all hazard script, there's going to be a shape that's in there too. And we're going to click run all. And then that's it from here. So the script should run. We'll leave that open. We're going to go back to our map. And then what we're looking for is to see if the CDPH facility survey layer updates, which it should. If not, there is step number 19 on the job aid, page 28. Then this layer list, the CDPH facility survey layer has been populated. So when I turn it off, those facilities disappear. When I turn it on, I can see that they are listed here. So I can go ahead and turn off, all the inpatient and white sheet facilities layer. Turn that off, and then I can also go ahead and get rid of the radius that was drawn for the white sheet. So if you click the trash icon from the white sheet widget, it will make it disappear, but I'll still have my radius that I drew from the Smart Editor. So skipping down to job aid page 29, we're going to do some batch editing. So the batch editor icon, this is probably the biggest change from the previous web app, is that there is no specific web or widget icon that is for batch editing. To access it, you're going to go into Smart Editor. You're going to open that up. And we've been in here previously adding the fire and drawing the impact area. But to do a batch edit, you're going to see this Edit Features menu, and you're going to do select by, and you can choose which shape you want to use to do it. If you want to draw a square, you can do it that way. I'm going to draw really a custom shape so that I can just quickly kind of go around all of these facilities. So I'm going to do select by lasso. And then what that's going to allow me to do is draw a circle around those facilities, double click. And this is probably the biggest change from the previous way that we did batch editing. So what I just did was I said, grab all of the things on the map that are within this area. And you'll see what it did was it grabbed the fire, right, the fire point that we plotted, and all of the facilities that have a survey record and the potential impact area. So this is different than how the batch editor used to do it. And what it is saying is, oh, you want to edit this data. Well, here's 3 different layers that you can choose to edit from. We only want to edit one layer, which is the facility records. So to get rid of the other items that it's getting ready to allow you to edit, you're going to want to click those off. So it's saying active fires, do you want to edit anything with mat test? No, I do not. So I'm going to exit that out. And then I'm going to see potential impact area. I do not want to edit the impact area at this time. I'm going to exit that out. So then when you click edit down here at the bottom of this edit, you'll see there's 13 surveys or facilities that we have the ability to edit for. What you're going to want to do is, if this is an advanced planning incident, you just go down to advanced planning and assign it as yes, and then click update. If it's not an advanced planning incident, you don't need to do that. But what you can do and what you should do is go in and assign the incident type, and let us know what type of incident type it is. So if it's a wildfire, we want to click that. We're going to click update. This just allows us to, on the back end, to look for surveys that have a specific incident type. Normally in the past we didn't have to do this because, if it was a fire, it was a wildfire, and it was showing up on a dashboard. But as incidents that we're reporting on get a little bit more complex, we want to have the ability to filter the dashboard to see, okay, which one is for maybe a landslide or something like that. So, all of that work would be done on the other incidents web application, which is going to mirror this process that we've just covered on the job aid. But this part would be the same. When you go to edit, when you go to batch edit the facility record to tell it what type of incident type it is, you want to make sure that you do that. All right, so what we did was we updated everything to say you were part of a wildfire incident. We're now going to close that out and then move on to the next part. So moving on to the next part, which is going to be on page 33. So editing facility statuses. Again, this is usually falls to the district offices, which are responsible for going to the story journal, updating the facility statuses via the survey that way. Sometimes our team will get involved in making a correction or something like that. So there's 4 different ways to do that. I know that may seem like a lot, but you can really just use your personal preference here. So on page 33, this is going to walk through A, B, C, and D, and I will show you how to do those. So let's go starting with on page 33, letter A. So this is just clicking the facility survey link from within the web app to access the survey. So, or Westland House. Click that link, and it will then take you to the survey, and then you can work through the survey. Make sure that you click submit at the bottom of the page and submit whatever data is needed for the survey. Number 2, or so item B, is going to be using the batch editor. So we just kind of went through that when we were showing how to edit all facilities if they are part of an advanced planning incident. Same thing, you're going to open up Smart Editor. You're going to select your icon. So say you just need to do 3 or 4 facilities. For this one, I'm just going to select the rectangle. Same thing, it's going to show, hey, you've grabbed 4 facilities, but you also were trying to edit the fire and the impact area. What you can do is also just go up here to the filter layer list, and then you would just want to select edit facility, or select CDPH facility survey in it, click edit, and change the op status. Let's just go ahead and do that. Operational, click update, give it a second to submit the data. I'm going to go back to the menu here and then exit that out. The next option would be going to the facility status editor dashboard. So all I'm going to do here is just get out of this web app. I'm going to click the back icon, and this will take you back to the home page for the Incident Management Hub. So for the story journal, for this example from the job aid, I'm using an all hazard incident. So I'm going to click all hazards, and then nothing has changed here. This is the exact same story journal that we have links to on our hub and other locations. And then you're just going to go to the survey editor, make sure I'm signed in. And then you can see you have the list of the facilities, and then just click the hyperlink and this will take you to the survey. Now, one other feature, so this is probably the newest thing, is item D, which is editing via the attribute table, which is pretty neat. It might save a little bit of time. So up here on the top right, you can go up to attribute table, and then from in here, I've opened up the attribute table widget, but what it's looking at right now is just this one layer for CHCQ fires, right? So we have an actual real event, the pack fire, and then we have the test event that I did for this job aid. What you can do is you can click the menu up here and you can load in the survey results into this table. This table now is, you can double click on the cell and edit the data. So I can go through and sort by hazard name, go down to our test facilities that I did for the job aid, scroll over, and you can just double click in the cell. It will give you the drop down. And once you click it, it will save it automatically and update the survey, and all of that is reflected on the dashboard. So a couple different ways to do it. You know, choose whichever one you feel the best with or most comfortable with. Batch editing, right, is key for multiple facilities. It really saves a lot of going in and having to, you know, go individually and edit the surveys. So if they all have a common answer, that's probably the best way to do it. Going back to batch editing, so we'll talk about two last things on this job aid before we close it down. If you need to edit your Polygon, so for example, the area grows, process is very similar to how it was on the last web app builder. It's just a little bit different look and feel of how the menu looks. So we're going to go to Smart Editor. We're then going to click on the shape. And then if you give it a second, you'll see it will load in and you'll have the little icons around whatever shape you draw. It could be a rectangle or circle or the more custom shape. You're then going to, all right, so now I'm going to close out this incident. So I have the Smart Editor widget open again. I have clicked on the shape, then open up the menu to edit the shape. I'm going to click delete. It's telling me that I'm permanently deleting that, which is fine. Now my shape is gone, and then I want to close the fire. So I found the easiest way to do that is to just open up the attribute table and then go and go to CHCQ fires, look for the fire name. So for this, it was Matt Test. I click that to highlight it, to scroll over to is fire closed, double click that cell and click yes. And you'll see it deletes it instantly. So that is wrapping up on page 40. So, you know, from here we started an incident, we closed an incident, and then if I want to go back to the home page for the hub, just click back, and then it takes you to